Hello teachers, it's Nadine. I wanted to give you some tips when you want to schedule a visit with me. Tip number 1 is make sure that you look over the dates that I'm scheduled to be in your building. Down below I have the dates listed, but if you can't read that, I have a link right here that will take you to the file. Tip number 2, what is it that you want me to do? First of all, if you're going to schedule a 15 or a 30-minute meeting with me, I wanted you to know what that will look like. So that means that I can either meet with you at your prep or I could meet with you before school. I could even chat with you on the phone during that time slot or do a video if I need to talk to you. I am going to help you plan for a model lesson or stations that you want me to do in your classroom. I can answer any kind of ed tech question that you might have if you need help with Google, iPad, or web tools. Okay, so that's a 15 or a 30-minute. Now, a 60-minute, if you sign up for 60 minutes, then that needs to be for a model lesson. I've had some teachers that have been signing me up for a model lesson, but they've only chosen 30 minutes, and that is not enough time for me to be able to do a model lesson with technology. Okay, so I want to make it clear that if you want to sign up, it has to be for 60 minutes. If you want me to do a model lesson, some possible ideas of things I've done so far, I will come in and show students how to use the Chromebooks. I will help them set up their Google account and so they can understand how Drive works. I can talk about collaborative work best practices for projects. They can actually do a collaborative project with me. I can talk about digital citizenship and what that means for students. I can also come in and either run a station or help you run all of your stations and how to integrate technology with those for either literacy or math. I wanted to talk more in depth about the model lessons. As I stated before, they need to be 60 minutes. Planning with me prior to a model lesson is absolutely vital. I'm going to talk about best practices for a tech integration lesson. I'm going to share that with you. If you don't want to plan with me, like have me drive over to plan, you can schedule a time to plan with me virtually in person before the lesson approaches. That helps me because then I can prepare materials based on what you need. Some teachers are asking that I do a lesson with iPads on apps. Others are having me do Chromebooks and Google accounts. Some lessons that are already prepared won't take very much time. I can give the teacher a suggestion of what I have in mind. The next item says prepare. So if you know that you've signed me up for a model lesson, that means that you need to have the Chromebooks or the lab signed out for when I come in to do the model lesson. If you're going to be using your iPad, since we've planned ahead of time, I need you to have your iPad charged and have the app that we've suggested loaded and ready to go for the lesson. All right? This is really important. So down at the bottom I said, please note, a last-minute model lesson cannot be scheduled. If you find out that I'm in your building that day and you have not scheduled me ahead of time, I'm not going to be able to do a model lesson on the fly. If you want to do it last minute, I will end up canceling the lesson, and then I will respond back to you and say, please look at the next available date so that we can properly prepare for me to come in and do the model lesson. Okay, tip number 4 is that you need to use Calendly to set up the time and the date. All right, this feature, Calendly, has really helped me out since I'm going to 7 buildings, and I'm telling everyone, you cannot just email me and say, oh, well, I want to set up a time. You have to use my Calendly. I have the link listed above, and it will take you directly to my calendar, and it lets you know when I'm available. If on the date, when you try to schedule a model lesson, if you don't see any hour slots left, then that means that I'm already booked up for that date. I cannot stress enough that it's first come, first serve. You have my schedule for the entire first semester, so you can plan ahead to see when I will be there. All right, if you have any other questions, please feel free to email me. I don't have a problem with that at all. I can answer anything that you may have. All right, thank you.